Thanks for checking out the channel. Let's move to the topic today. Program planning. Considerable program planning activities may include prioritizing projects for realization by business value and dependencies, defining the high-level scope of the projects, analyzing and planning resources, projects realization planning, planning milestones, communication planning, and escalation planning, projects release planning. Now let's understand what is the prioritization of projects. Like prioritizing projects for realization by business value and how its dependencies are, you know, planned. So based on the dependency between projects and their business value, prioritization is the first needed step. Prioritization ensures clarity on the project's importance of implementation and requires planning, investment, and general focus. Defining the high level scope of the projects. The scope of each project needs to be described as high level, which sets the basis for a more detailed assessment of further project management activities. Now let's understand analyzation. Analyzing and planning resources. The status of the current materials, resources, tools, and people need to be identified. The status is an abstract term defining the condition, quality, capacity, availability, motivation, skills, and attitude. The current availability of materials, resources, tools, and people need to be identified. If the program requires additional resources or workforce, the organization defines them and plans the necessary provisions. Project realization planning may include high-level planning of estimated resources and the time needed to complete the projects. Planning milestones. Important events may need to be defined, described, and scheduled. Such events may include gathering requirements, scope finalization, approximate time for project initiation, design phase initiation and completion, development phase initiation and completion, releases of product samples, testing or validation phase initiation and completion, repairing defects, initiation and completion, acceptances, initiation and completion, major releases and deliveries, marketing campaigns. The planning of project realizations, resources, budget, and milestones should take into account phases that may go beyond the predicted timeframes, such as testing, validating defects, repairing, etc., and acceptances. These considerations are valid for both programs and project management activities, and as a result, buffer time may be needed between different phases and milestones. Communication planning. The communication process is critical during the entire program planning and its realization. Program communication planning may include defining communication needs, establishing a communication channel for program and project management, communication needs with other roles of the organization, escalation planning, planning communication needs and channels with external parties. Defining communications needs. Defining communication may include defining all communication topics like meetings, status reporting, tests, risks, discussions, resources, project release planning, etc. Defining and concurring on the importance level of topics. Agreement on communication frequency and details. Establishing a communication channel for program and project management. Program and project management roles have to discuss, agree, and establish their communication channels, which include the physical environment, software, or technologies. Communication needs with other roles in the organization may include defining and planning communication needs with roles outside of the program and project management offices. Escalation planning, emergent issues and incidents may need immediate attention and actions. Escalation planning may include defining parties and roles that may be involved in emergent issues, training parties and roles of the importance of the escalation process, training parties and roles in proper and fast reacting, preparation of potentially needed instructions and reference required for different types of issues, preparing potentially needed environments, tools, software, simulations, and potential scenarios may also be conducted if such may be predefined as part of the escalation planning and training. Planning communications needs and channels with external parties. All external parties interested in the program need to be involved in the communication. Channels and frequency of communication need to be defined and agreed on between all parties. Now, projects release planning. Projects release planning may include defining all roles involved in project releasing and their responsibilities, defining and describing the steps needed for every project release, defining resources, materials, and tools needed and planning their provisions, testing and analyzing the status of current tools, environments, and materials, notifying all potentially involved parties of the plans, procedures, tools, environment, and materials, potential training, preparing all documentation templates that may be needed, defining and planning post release needs and activities. Thanks for staying to the end of the session. Please keep motivating us by subscribing, hitting like, and do comment and share with your friends and relatives. See you in the next session. Bye.